is Route 66, and today I'm going to talk to you about one of my little toys here. I've only acquired this recently, I think a few months ago, not that long ago. It's the Keio Checkmate, and Keio is maybe a brand that you've never heard of, but Keio later turned into Korg. So this is a predecessor of later Korg drum machines like the Mini Pops. And I think there was also, I seem to remember there was also a bigger one that was like almost like a tower, the Donkamatic, and it's sort of the same as it all comes from the same time. There is not much information that you can find about the Checkmate, or actually mostly those little old rhythm boxes are, you can find all the information about 808s and 909s and whatever, all that stuff. These things are, they are documented, but not much else is known that it's a rhythm box, and that's pretty much it. The only thing I could find about this, I can't even find the real date. In some ads and in some, there's actually a book about these old rhythm boxes, and I still have to find that. I have to find that somewhere, because I have a little bit of a rhythm box fascination, and I love those old things. I've had many. I still have a bunch of them here spread around in the studio, and I have a tendency to have them not really midified, but so that they respond to DIN sync. So they get a clock input for same as, for instance, the 808. And I have plenty of machines here that generate DIN sync and that can split DIN sync and blah, blah, blah. So once they get DIN sync, they get a clock signal, and they run in sync with whatever instrument you're using it with. I know people midify that stuff, and then you can play new rhythms on it, and you can play it on your keyboard. But I prefer to let them run their own little simple patterns, and that's enough for me. That's what they were intended to do. And I don't know if I want to make new sounds or new rhythms with them. You can sample them or whatever. It's no big deal. There's even sample packs floating around the internet with all the sounds from these things, and you don't even have to sample it yourself. It's all available one mouse click away, as they say. But I just love these old little boxes, and I've seen it described as from 1966. Which I like, because I'm also from 1966, so I thought, hey, there's not that many electronic instruments that are from my year, so I thought, hey, cool, I'll buy it. I've also seen it described as from 1970, 1971, so I'm just going to say late 60s, early 70s. It's somewhere around there. I don't know how long they made them. I also don't know how many they made. All I know is that I've never seen another one. I've seen them on the internet. I've seen photos of them, but I found this one here in Holland on Marktplaats, which is sort of like a Dutch version of like eBay or something. It's or Craigslist. It's an advertising site, and somebody advertised it for, I don't know, it's like €100 or something, and I thought, that's crazy. I'll just offer. I think I offered 30 or 40 euro, and 5 minutes or 5 seconds later, I got a message back that says, "Okay, sold." Okay, wow. And it turned out to be from somebody that was like dealing in antiques and stuff that I had no idea what it was, and just wanted to get rid of it. And the first person that responded said, "Okay, go, weg ermee." So that's how I got it. I also had no idea if it worked, because these are people that have no idea how to check that, and it even said, I think it said in the ad, okay, it's your responsibility. So I think, okay, for a few euros, I can take the gamble that it doesn't work and it needs to be fixed, or it's so bad that I can throw it away. Sometimes these things work on batteries, and a lot of times people left batteries inside those things for God knows how long, and they start leaking and they corrode everything. And I've seen like little keyboards and instruments like this where you just take one look inside and just throw the whole thing away because you can't do anything. This one, much to my surprise, was like in pristine condition. It's like perfect. So also on the inside, and it took me a little bit to figure out how it works. The battery switch or the battery plug is inside. There is let me show you. There is here is like a screw, and you screw that, and then the whole back part comes off, and then inside you can put the 9-volt battery block in, and inside there is also you can see the circuit. There's also like pot meters for the sounds, as you can see by its size, and it's got 3 knobs. It really doesn't do much. It has 3 sounds. It has a bass drum, it has a snare drum, and then it has a hi-hat, and that's it. No toms, no other cymbals, no like Latin percussion things, wood blocks, whatever. No, nothing. Just bass, snare, hi-hats. But, this is late 60s, and I have to say, for something out of the late 60s, it sounds pretty damn good. It has, let's see, there's also no, sometimes you have like a filter where you can change the sound, to have it a bit more bass and dull, or like super bright and like basically like a low pass and a high pass filter. That changes sound a little bit. That's also not here. The sound, it is what it is. And but of course, these days you can change it with on your EQs, on your mixer, and you can put it through effects, and you can change anything. So that doesn't really matter. There's also no variations. There's no. The other thing that how it's different from most of those other rhythm machines of those days is most of those things have push buttons for the rhythms, and what you can do with most of them is that you can push the different buttons at the same time, so you can mix rhythms, and you can actually make really cool things with that. Doesn't always work. Or it doesn't always sound good, but you can mix, I don't know, some basic beat with like a salsa rhythm. I've done that on some of my bunker tracks. I had some of those old rhythm boxes, and I would do that. Just push some simple rhythm and some Latin thing, and just do them at the same time, and it'll play both those patterns. And so you can make interesting combination, especially also if you combine like different time signatures, like 3/4 and 4/4 together, and it gives it a little bit more variations than just the standard rhythms. This one doesn't have that. This one has it's like a click, like a pot meter. So it's one rhythm or the other. It's not 2 at the same time. It's not possible. So it has a volume. This selects the rhythms. There are 6 rhythms, A, B, C, D, E, F, and this is the tempo knob, and that's it. The only other thing it has is it has a solo knob, and what's a solo knob? That basically repeats it's like a snare drum, like a roffel in Dutch. I don't know what do you I don't know what you call that in English, but it's it's a little fill-in, so you can do that every once in a while. I had several other drum machines that had the same idea. So and that's it. And I haven't done anything with this. It has. I'm powering it now with it just takes a 9-volt DC power supply. It has an output. It says 2 amp, so it's obviously meant to be used on like a guitar amp or something. But it works fine as a line out. and there's a solo input and a start-stop input, and I guess you can use like a foot pedal, or maybe even I haven't tried that yet, but a lot of times that stuff can be controlled, for instance, with a Eurorack, like a modular, like a 5-volt gate or something like that, to turn the machine on and off and to engage that solo knob. So that's it. I haven't done anything with it. I'm debating what I'm going to do with it, because I can have it modified, but then I will have to find a place where to put the DIN sync, the jack, or the MIDI, the DIN input. And it's a 5-pole MIDI, and that's not on there. So I'm not sure if I want to do that, because it is in such nice condition. And on all these other machines where I've had that done, they're big. They're these huge things, and if you put an extra little DIN sync input on the back, you don't see it, but here, if you put a huge, you see it right away. So I will have to talk to my guy about that. If we can do anything with it? Maybe just have a cable that goes through one of these jacks that I don't use, and maybe just have it hang by the side or something, because it would be handy. But on the other hand, it's also just a nice thing to look at in the studio. How does it sound? You have to turn it on like this. Oh, shut. As you can hear, it's okay. It's just that the on-off switch is also the volume. It's like a radio that you turn on. Okay, let's start with. I'm going to start with rhythm A, and then just go through them. I mean. It's not going to take long, because okay, it's only 6 rhythms, so okay, turn it on. This is rhythm 1. It's only bass snare, and then you can, like a machine gun. And speed up a little bit. And then rhythm 2. Same rhythm, but with a hi-hat. Same. The machine gun is always the same. They should have, instead of mentioning, calling it solo, they should have just called it gun or machine gun or something. That's. If you do it short, it's actually, it sounds more like a, like a little break, like a little fill-in. It's also, I think it's a bit louder in sound, so it sort of takes it over. This is rhythm 3, or actually rhythm C. It's once again the same rhythm, but with an extra snare drum and the same machine gun. The fun thing about this is also that these rhythms are actually written here on the. It's a big box, and they only had 3 knobs, so I guess as a decoration, you can actually see the rhythms here on the written out in notes, and I mean, I don't read notes, but I can see here what it is. It's actually pretty clear. Let's go to rhythm D. That's another variation with the snare, the second snare in a different spot. So I actually like that it has these basic rhythms, because however fun those Latin rhythms and jazz and waltz and all that stuff, it's fun, but it's really not very usable in like electronic music that we make today. Even if you don't make like techno, and you make a bit more like wavy stuff, or it's really no use for those kind of rhythms and those kind of. But this, I mean, you can hear some of these rhythms, if you speed them up a little bit and you distort them a bit, you have Suicide, or you can do like early Sisters of Mercy. There's a lot of that kind of stuff that you can do with this thing, because it's super basic. And you can also have this thing do like the bass, snare, the hi-hat, and then have something else do a fill-in, or buy some other little drum machine and give it like extra percussion sounds or something. It's actually, like I said, I'm really surprised how good it sounds. It actually sounds nice. I've had ones, and I have ones here that don't sound as good, where you don't have that both the bass is nice and deep. You actually hear it. It's not a lot of times those bass drums especially are either it's like a bass tone on a keyboard, and it's just a little whoop, 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 and you really can't do anything. It doesn't have any punch, or doesn't have any. This one does, actually. This one has a little bit of boom, 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 boom. It's there. Same for the snare. The snare is also pats. It's the envelopes or whatever they're using for these sounds are very. It's snappy. It's tight. And I don't even have anything. There's no compression or nothing. There's a bit of EQ on the mixer, but that's it. And so this is actually very usable. You can make a track and just have this thing run, do the drums, and you will hear them. It will stand up in the mix. So it's a very nice sounding thing. Rhythm E, actually, Rhythm E is it's almost like proto gabber. But it's also you can do like industrial. I don't know. I was thinking like there's Ministry tracks that have that same, only then a bit slower. Like this, and then put some guitar over it. You can do something with these rhythms. I really like that. So this is E, and just to it's the same. Sometimes they give you little variations on these fill-ins, but I guess that wasn't in the cards here yet. It's just, you should just probably be happy that there is something where you can sort of break into the beat. And let's go to the last one. It's more of like a jazzy type of. What I think is funny is there's no names for them. There's no on all my other drum machines. Even these kind of beats have names. They are. I don't know. On the I have a the TR-77 is there, but I have I don't know if you can see it. I think you can just about see it. Here's a Hohner automatic rhythm player that's German, and they all have names. There's all the names are written above the things here, above the knobs. But this is just A to F, and that's it. No, we're not even going to bother with names. It was obviously I want to say it was a cheap thing, but I found somebody online who claims to have found a bill for when one of these was bought in the early 70s, and this was in German, and apparently this thing cost 250 marks, which would be I don't know, about 125 euro or something. So about $150 or for 1970. Let's take 1970 as the date when this was. That's expensive. I mean, you're not talking about. I thought it looks like a cheap little crapper, especially compared to those big drum machines. Those other ones are. If you look at this, the honer that's down here, it takes up the full width of that thing. That thing is like, I don't know, what is that, like 50 centimeters or something wide. It's wider than a rack. It doesn't fit in a rack mount. Rack mount is 43 centimeters. So, that's a big thing. And those are meant to be put on top of an organ. And this is just a little, like I said, it looks like a little transistor radio. And it looks almost like a toy. And it's still, that's a lot of money for it. But it's at the same time, I think, there was what else was there available in that time? You had this and you had one or two other of those big things, and that was it. So really not much choice. Anyway, this is the Keio Checkmate. I would say, if you find one, buy it, but I don't know if you're going to find one. I'm probably on like Reverb. I'm sure there will be somebody trying to sell one for 200 or 300 euro or whatever, but don't do it. It's not worth that. It's a fun thing, but it has limited use unless you want to be, you have a total wave band or minimal synth band, and you only want to use equipment from those days when those bands were around, and blah 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 blah. Okay, then it might be worth finding something, but then you also may want to find something else, like a Bentley Rhythm Ace or something, because that has a lot more rhythms. And I have, you can't see it, I have a Roland TR-77 back there that also does, not this, but these kind of these kind of beats, and it's easier to find, and you can do many more things. You can turn different instruments on and off, and have volume changes and mix rhythms, and that's much more useful than this. This will just play 6 beats and that's it. And so okay, I would say if you find it under 100 euro, then it's worth it. It's fun. If you can modify it, then it's great, or have somebody else. I used to do it myself, but I don't feel like doing it anymore. I just let somebody else do it these days. And then actually I know that it works, because when I modify things, sometimes they didn't work anymore. Then it's great and it's fun, but okay, don't pay too much money for it, because it's fun little thing. I will play. Actually, what's fun with it is if you play it like through effects and stuff. I'll give you a little. I'll play a few things through the Electo Harmonix, the Memory Man. What the hell is that thing called? Something with Hazarai something. Anyway. Little blue delay box, very cool thing. I'll do a little video about that too, one of these days. But anyway, the Keio Checkmate, and if you, I see you at the next video, and subscribe to the channel, blah blah blah, all that stuff. So I'm not going to bother you with it. Here is the Checkmate. I'm going to play a little bit more with it to slowly fade out the video. So until next time, goodbye.